in case there's a problem.
Hello, welcome to the Digital
I think
Sideboard here at
so.
the Star City Games online events. This is Season 2 Championship Qualifier number 2. A lot of these happening this month. I'm Nick Miller alongside our champion, Gabriel Nicholas. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A lot of people thought coming into this week, it's just going to be a lot of teamer wreck, looking at the schedule for this season. All that changed Monday,
Yeah.
thankfully. And then the eyes immediately went toward Teamer Adventures and then Sultai. Were you on Sultai from day one, or how did you arrive on this deck?
Yeah, as soon as I played a few matches with Sultai, I knew it was going to be the deck I was going to play because I've played Sultai before it was cool, back when Carnage Tyrant was a thing, and I was the one guy that showed up to the SCG where everyone had Nexus of Fate, and I was still playing Sultai. Like, what happened? So I've been playing it for a long time.
Right, no Carnage Tyrants here, no Explore creatures anymore. We have a few more powerful cards than that, if you can imagine things being more powerful than Carnage Tyrant.
Creature, so.
Yeah. Uro, it does a little different, little different than the Explorer creatures, but we have what we have to assume is the most powerful shell for Uro and for Nissa, who shakes the world now. And I think from there, it's how you build the rest of the deck. How did you come to the rest of the numbers, specifically the extinction events and your interaction?
Right. So, to be honest, all I wanted main deck Narsets because I thought Sultai was going to be kind of prevalent, so I went with those. And then Extinction Event was way better than Ritual of Soot when I tested it because you could Extinction Event like Cavalier of Thorns in the Elementals matchup, which you can't do with like Ritual. So, and plus you don't blow up all your lands if you don't want to. There's way more flexibility with Extinction Event than Ritual of Soot.
Right, the flexibility there was huge, especially when trying to deal with opposing Uros or opposing Kroxas or things like that you actually have to exile.
Right.
The top 8 was mostly Sultai decks with Rakdos Sacrifice. You had to play Rakdos Sacrifice in the semis and finals here. Obviously, that deck is a little different now as well without the Cat Oven engine. But how did you feel against that matchup in particular, because both the semis and the finals were pretty close?
Yeah, definitely. I think that if an aggro deck were to beat Sultai, it would be like some variant on that. You can't really beat Sultai just by playing guys, but like, what is it called? Weaponize the monsters. That's a scary card when he just has it in play for however many turns, and I can't really interact with it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, the thing that hung me up in that finals match was when you cast the Extinction Event, and he could have left up the mana for the Weaponize the monsters, but that choice happens on resolution, so they don't get to respond to that. So Extinction Event pulling extra work there and even kind of neutralizing the effectiveness of Weaponize the monsters there, right?
Right, and I've had similar effects against like the Winota aggro decks where you put Extinction Event on the stack and they have like a dog, like the dog that sacrifices itself, and then a bunch of other creatures, and they kind of have to guess, like, do I need to sacrifice these to get them in the graveyard or whatever,
So how do you feel about the standard format now that there's been 4 more bans on top of many other cycles of bans? We're at what we have to assume is the last life cycle of this current format. Sultai appears to be the deck to beat. Would you continue playing it? Is there something that beats it, or was there anything you were fearing coming into this week?
To be honest, not really. The Mirror was like the hardest matchup, and it was my one loss in the tournament. Was round 7 of the Swiss was a Sultai Mirror, and you get to play all the best cards. Like I was watching coverage of some of the round 5 or something where it was not a Sultai deck playing, and it was like Teamer Adventures versus Mono Green, and I was like, this looks like a different game. It's turn 6, and neither one of them have 9 lands in play. What's going on?
Right, and before with Teamer Rec and 4-color Rec, a lot of people were going to Mono Green or some of these super hyper linear aggro decks to fight those decks, but those decks struggle against Sultai. So I'm not sure how you fight this deck in the current format right now. Obviously, it's a little early to speculate that, but do you see anything that can be tweaked or changed to effectively beat this deck?
I think if you want to beat it, you can play like maybe the blue-green version of Ramp that just goes straight to Ugin and skips all the other stuff. That could be a way to go. But I like having the the interaction, the kill spells and stuff, because otherwise, how does blue green ramp beat red black sacrifice? It probably doesn't. It probably
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah, you definitely have all the tools, and it feels like a deck that you can change week to week given on what you expect and have everything you need, whereas some of the two-color decks can't do that.
Right.
Well, congratulations once again. Do you have any shout-outs or closing thoughts on the event here?
No, I mean, I have a few shout outs. There's a couple guys online that I've been talking to on Twitter and stuff like that. X Whale is a moto grinder, and then Nick Strad is he top aided a few events as
Hmm.
well, playing Bant. And they banned enough cards where this is good again, so I can play Bant 2.0 and not feel too bad about it. So
All right, well, we'll get to see how the rest of the season plays out because we expect no more bannings at this point. So it looks like Soul Ties World, you took down the first event with it. Congratulations to Gabriel Nicholas. If you want to play in any of these, we've got another one next week, Saturday, in fact, another championship qualifier, get into the challenges. We fire a bunch of them every day, get 10 points, and we hope to see you in one of these next Saturday or potentially later this month. But for Gabriel, I'm Nick. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all the directors. Stay tuned next week, same time, for another championship qualifier here on Star City Games Online Tour.
I'll be playing.